The plane crash that happened in Ethiopia just 6 minutes after takeoff. We look at how the Kenyan media, the international media, and how also the Ethiopian media also covered this and much more other stories that have been making, the headlines. Just a few. The Ethiopian flight incident comes just a few weeks after we had a chopper crash here in the country that saw the pilot of Deputy President William Ruto and 4 other foreigners dead. And of course, in a studio this morning, let me start with introducing Victor Bwire, head of program at the Media Council of Kenya. Karibu sana.
Asante.
And also my colleague Safina Okumu, who's used to behind the scenes, but today you're on the spotlight. She's the social media editor here at Standard Group. And let me start with you, Safina. I mean, being on social media, what can you say about how, the Kenyan media, especially the digital platform, covered this flight crash that happened?
Okay. I would say we covered it in the best way possible because, first of all, when we heard it was a crash, we did not rush out with that information because we wait for reliable sources to confirm that information, and the Ethiopian Airlines CEO is the one who actually gave out that information. So I would say we were actually very factual because people were speculating. We have seen fake videos coming out and flight simulation videos coming out saying this is what happened.
Yeah. I've seen that video that went so viral.
Yeah.
Like, this is what was recorded.
Yes.
And I also asked myself, if this is what was recorded, I mean, how did that video get to,
out? Yeah,
to other people?
Yes. So I think the most important thing is fact checking because even here at Standard we sent four crew to go to Ethiopia to confirm the information. So it was really, I would say, minute-by-minute update from reliable sources.
It's a matter of fact-finding before you put it out there.
Yes, before we put it out there.
Okay. Yeah. You work at the Media Council of Kenya, regulating what the media puts out there. What would you say about reporting of this incident?
Thanks, Brian. One, so far, Kenya media has been very factual and professional in the manner they have done it so far. One, it happened far away, and the first actually communication was with the Prime Minister's office from Ethiopia, and it took even bits of time for people to even say, why would an accident be announced by the Prime Minister's office? So for that, I could see people held on. Quite a number of editors were asking themselves, even if it's an accident, but why would the Prime Minister's office? So there were no doubts, fact-checking, establishing what might have happened. So it took a lot of time. Remember, the accident ought to have happened before 8:30, because that's a flight that was supposed to have arrived here
at 10:30.
Yeah.
And remember, most of the breaking news started almost after 10:30, around 11. So people took a lot of their time to establish, to get facts. Like Fina says, it took a lot of time for while at some stage the speculation became so rife with weird, obviously, videos and what, but we didn't see that in our mainstream media. And so far, we are happy that the coverage, much as difficult, but our colleagues have held on, and even like he's saying, quite a number have sent there. We have over 40 journalists actually from Kenya right now in Ethiopia, and there's a lot of some harmonization of information that is coming. In fact, some of us started pushing our colleagues from the Kenya Airports Authority and the Kenya Civil Aviation Authority to say, what is it from our side? Because we were getting a lot of information from Ethiopia, though obviously the flight belongs to them and they had more information. But there was a lot, and immediately the Minister for Infrastructure, Macharia, came on board, and so far it has been good.
Okay, Safina, and do you think the media has actually put out the right information outside there as first, very first, and very fast, because relatives are actually depending on, like Kenyans, are actually depending on the local media for information?
Yes, I would say we have so far put out correct information, though we realize that in some instances like this, there are people who come out to get the attention. You see, like we had a story of some guy from Kisumu whom apparently it turned out his family was not even on the airplane. So I would say, again, going back to fact-checking, like linking with other media houses, linking with other reporters, so that we can get correct information. And we had the list of Kenyans who were involved in the accident, and I think that also put some rest, I would say. Some anticipation was like calmed down, and then we had CS Macharia telling the family members or those who suspect their family members were on the flight to go to Sheraton. Yes, so I would say that we had like a really good information center where we gave out factual information from the CS, and if you can check on Standard Digital, we were giving minute by minute updates
as Transport CS spoke.
So we were telling guys, call the Red Cross or call the Ethiopian Airlines on this number. There's a help center. You can go to this place, because many people rely on social media for that information.
All right. And just before I get Bire's thought on this, what you're seeing on your screen is just as some of the tweets that the Standard Media Group had been posting on this incident, and one of them being that black box from the Ethiopian Airlines flight that crashed on Sunday, and of course it's been recovered by the Ethiopian officials, and of course being a developing story, I mean the Ethiopian Airlines Boeing 737 to Nairobi has also, at that time, that is what the information that was being given by Standard Media Group online platform team of what happened, and of course we kept on updating Kenyans through a social media team, you know, giving them the latest update, the number of people who've been affected in terms of countries, the nationalities that were on board, and of course, I mean, it clearly shows you what Safin is actually saying. You had to fact find.
Yes.
But then there's another concern that as much as people were depending on the media, and especially the digital media like the Standard Media Group, there was also concern that when the minister was speaking, I mean Transport Cabinet Secretary Minister was speaking, already a list was out. And some relatives got to find this information from social media. So how could we tackle that kind of a situation as Kenyans? Because already the information is out, even before media goes ahead to publish it, because we're on a digital time, you know.
Actually, I belong to a group where people almost fought over that list. When the list came and we were talking about names, and obviously there was a colleague, a journalist who lost his life, Anthony Ngari, and Ngari was, I mean, a buddy who has worked with everybody so well. He was my colleague here in Standard. So when it was going on and people were saying, is it a genuine list? Then some people are saying, oh, sorry, rest in peace, Ngari. Somebody said, why can't you wait for confirmation? And then, I mean, it's reached a verbal exchange between people over those lists. So that's why I'm saying that, yes, sometimes it's not the media, but sometimes we Kenyans also, we forward so much information that sometimes you even forward your own wrong name. Somebody calls me a woman, I just forward. I mean, we never hold on and verify information. Even and there's eagerness, especially you have seen most of our social groups or other, for who is the one giving out the first information. So that push that. I mean, sometimes pushes people that we forget, and that's a concern that we have talked to colleagues in the media, because if you look at the Londiani aircraft, I look at the Turkana
the chopper that crashed.
Yeah. One of the issues, and actually we raised with KTN, I mean, because the families are raised, that the names of the pilots were released way above before even the families were informed, and it brought a lot of issues actually.
But allow me to differ with you a bit, because I mean, every media house is out there to give out information. You want to be the first one to break out the news. So if I have the information as a media house, like within the editorial department, why should I withhold it? Yet probably what I have is fact.
What we are saying is that yes, it's a fact, but media, you have a professional responsibility. That if, for example, we got an accident and I'm involved, my next of kin, and if you look at our code of ethics for the practice of journalism, it says very well, the next of kin must be notified. Well, look at it, Brenda. You left